All right, welcome back. Let's get started with this overview and my update with the Mac Mini M1. So before I begin, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the future videos, and make sure you hit that bell icon. So this is kind of like an update to my Mac Mini M1. I've purchased my Mac Mini a couple weeks back, and the build that I've gone with is a 16 gig unified memory with the 1 terabyte storage. Now, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm saving that for the review. Let's jump into the most important thing, which is the issues that I have had with my Mac Mini. So before going into that, make sure you comment down below if you are experiencing the same issues with your M1 Macs. So the number one issue that I have experienced is that Bluetooth issue. Now, when I was watching other people's videos, I was under the impression that that issue was only occurring for people who weren't using Apple products or Apple devices such as Apple's keyboard or Apple's trackpad. But that's not true, because I've experienced the same issue on my keyboard as well as on my trackpad. So what would happen with my keyboard is if I lock my computer and I go away for like a couple of hours and come back, my keyboard would become unresponsive and I wouldn't be able to type in my password. So I did find a fix for this. The number one is obviously you can restart your computer. And if you do that, you might lose your progress on your Word documents or certain websites. The second option is the solution that I did find is to connect using the USB cable for the trackpad or the keyboard itself. And by doing that, I wasn't able to run into any issues. Now, in terms of my trackpad, the same thing happened with my trackpad, where I was using it and all of a sudden it would become unresponsive, or it would be like jittery going back and forth all over the screen. And I experienced that with the MX Master as well. So I'm not sure if this is a Bluetooth issue or if it's a software issue. One person did point out in my other video, which I'll link over here, the way he explained it does make sense. So I'm just waiting for Apple to release an update, and hopefully that issue is resolved with the update. So the second issue that I am experiencing with the Mac Mini M1 is certain apps are crashing once in a while. They're not Apple apps, they're apps like Lightroom that are crashing once in a while. Now on to the things that I did like about the Mac Mini M1. Let's start up with the overall performance of this computer. So the overall performance is absolutely amazing. It's quick to launch. Apps are opening super fast, and I'm noticing there's a huge significant performance increase coming from a MacBook Pro to this Mac Mini. Now, when I am talking about these performance updates and performance improvements, I'm not talking about performance improvements on all the apps. So the only performance improvements that I have seen coming from my MacBook Pro, which is this one back here, that's the 2019 MacBook Pro 15-inch, fully spec'd out except for the hardware storage. And the only apps that I'm experiencing that are much faster are the ones that have been optimized for the Apple Silicone chip. And those ones for me are Google Chrome and Final Cut Pro. Now, using Final Cut Pro on my MacBook Pro was decent. I was able to edit my videos, but it would lag behind. It would kind of be slow, and the fans will be kicking on all the time, whether I'm editing videos that are shot on my iPhone to the videos that are shot from my A7 III. However, transitioning to the M1, I haven't had those issues. Final Cut has been really smooth using the M1 chipset, as well as my M1 Mac has never ever turned on the fans at all. I've used this for a week and a half and it's been quiet the entire time. Now, the second thing that I do have to point out is the way I did set up my Mac Mini M1 was not the traditional way that people do set up as like a fresh new laptop. I transferred my apps and some of my storage from my MacBook Pro to my Mac Mini. And with that, I do have to point out, if you're going to go that route, is to delete Chrome if you have it. Because what happened was it transferred over the Intel-based Chrome to my Mac Mini M1. If you go on Google's website on googlechrome.com, you now have the option to download either an Intel-based Chrome or the M1-based Chrome. So I highly recommend that you do download the M1-based Chrome, because it's much faster to launch and I haven't had any issues, and websites are loading faster than Safari. So the second thing that I really like about, using my Mac Mini M1 is the fact that I'm able to download certain apps that weren't available on my MacBook Pro, and those apps are the ones that are for the iPhone and iOS world. I know it's not a huge difference for some people, but for me it's a huge difference because my lighting is running off of the apps such as the Tekken. So that wasn't available for the old Intel App Store, but it's available on the App Store on the M1 chipsets. So that's pretty much it for this quick update with the Mac Mini M1. Let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see in the future updates, as well as the review for this laptop. And I am going to be coming out with a desk setup for 2021 and what I'm using with this Mac Mini M1. I'm 90% done for the purchasing of the items for the Mac Mini. There's still one more item that I do have to purchase for the Mac Mini, which is really important, especially today. I wonder if you guys can guess that in the comment section down below. So thank you very much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed this quick update for this Mac Mini M1. So let me know in the comment section what you thought about this video and this format. Until next time, goodbye.